Welcome back, my enlightened ones. Welcome back to my channel. It is I, Four Winds Cat. Yes, it's me. How is everybody? If you're new here to my channel, thank you for stumbling along. I do go live every Thursday night, so that's great to know. And anybody else who stumbles along later on, we're so happy to have you come and join us here tonight. So tonight is going to be about werewolves and lycanthropes. So that's going to be kind of fun. So we have Chris in here and Shane and Sarah. Jasmine is driving home at the moment. Drive safe, Jasmine. So that's what's going on there. Next week, just to tell you, we are doing the Akasha records. We will be doing a meditation to see if we can pull up some of your shadow work and help to break that open for you guys if you're having a few issues with some shadow work that needs to be resolved. When we do the Akasha records is in the magnetic field of the earth, and it is a library. It's a spiritual library that knows all your past lives and all your past history. So sometimes when you do an Akasha record dream, or when you do an Akasha record meditation, it will break and remove some blocks for you and make you to understand more of what's going on in your life's purpose. So next week, Akasha records, so that will be fun. So then jump over the chat, just make sure. Adam and Vincent, welcome. Great to have you guys. Good to see you. Had a great birthday yesterday. Thank you guys for all the lovely birthday wishes and everything. It was a lovely day. Oh, I got a hair that keeps trying to go up my nose. Maybe I need to trim the suckers. I don't know. Okay, it's like something's tickling my nose. What is going on here? So tonight, here we are, werewolves and lycanthropes. Yes. So this is going to be a fun class. And then after we're finished, we will be doing some bone casting. I thought that would be appropriate with the werewolves and lycanthropes because they leave bones behind. So why not use some? So that'll be fun. So we have had stories. You've heard of the witch burnings and everything back to the Salem witch trials and so forth. This predates that. Werewolves and lycanthropes, believe it or not, they had werewolf burnings, and you're going to learn about some of them tonight, actually, the hysteria and everything that went behind that. So, so I'm just going to jump right in, just jumping back to chat, make sure everybody's. I wasn't trying to pick my nose. It itches. It's just so. Anyway, thanks, Sarah. So I'm just gonna jump right in, dive right in. So we'll get going on this. Okay, you guys good? So again, thank you for being here tonight. I love you. I love having you here, and I'm so grateful for having you guys and for all the lovely birthday wishes. So werewolves and lycanthropes. Werewolves have been a subject of many horrifying stories, such as Little Red Riding Hood throughout the world in many cultures, creating more than just a few nightmares. That's no scary wolf right there. I'd say that's a werewolf, wouldn't you? I'd say that. These legends tell of humans morphing into vicious, carnivorous beasts. The killers of the night on the full moon. These myths tell stories of a hybrid, half man, half wolf, bloodthirsty beasts with voracious appetites for livestock or human flesh. Yes, you're going to hear that they eat humans to control their primal urges for the kill. Earlier legends of werewolves made an appearance back in Greek. Here we are again, Greek mythology with the legend of Lycan. Is that a coincidence? I don't think so. There was a man called Lycan, and this is his name. According to legend, Lycan, the son of Pelasgus, yes, that's the name, angered the god Zeus, that fickle little fellow, when he served him a meal made from the remains of a sacrificed boy. That's not good. Zeus punished Lycan by turning him and his sons into wolves. Werewolves have also emerged in the early Nordic folklore. The saga of the Volsungs tell the story of the father and a son who discovered wolf pelts transformed themselves into wolves and went on a killing rampage in the forest. Their rampage ended when the father attacked his own son, causing a horrific wound. Then the son only survived because a kind raven gave him a magical healing feather. So that's quite interesting there. So here we are. Beware of the full moon. Stay on the road and keep clear of the moors. What is that from? American Werewolf in London. One of my favorite movies. Yes. Infamous murders. Here we go. All right. So they do believe that werewolves change during the full moon. Another word for moon is luna. Lunatic, the word lunatic comes from luna, from the moon, Latin word meaning the moon. It originated from the belief that insanity is caused by changes in the moon. So that's interesting. Go over here. Oh, can't see it. My moon's in the way. The night in the dark the moon is full of terrors. So that's interesting. Many werewolves from centuries ago were in fact serial killers. Yes. France having its fair share. In 1521, a Frenchman, Pierre Ragot, and Michael Vernon allegedly swore allegiance to the devil himself. They always swear to the devil, to have an ointment that turned them into wolves after confessing to brutally murdering several children. They were both burned to death at a stake. Here it goes, and this predates the Salem witch trials, guys. Believing that burning was one of the few ways to actually kill a werewolf. Some other names for werewolves are Beast of the Gévaudan, the Dogman Werewolf, the Shunka Warrican, the Man Dog, the Loup-Garou, the Skinwalker, the Wolfman, the Wendigo, the Devil Dog, and the Rougarou. These are other names for them. And as I said, werewolves were often thought to be associated with the devil. So, let's see. Giles Garner. I gotta find Giles here. I have a banner for him. Hang on 1 second. Giles, where are you? Damn it. And it's not from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Giles, where'd you go? All right. I didn't name it correctly. That's what I get for that. Haha. All right. Well, he's in here somewhere. I'll find him. Giles Garner, known as the Werewolf of Dole. That's what I probably have it under. Werewolf of Dole. Let me see. Werewolf of Dole. Werewolves through history. Nope, that's not it. Well, right on the ball tonight, aren't I? Huh. I know I put it in here. Oh, I think it's this one. Is it this one? This was Giles Garner was a French hermit who confessed to and was convicted of being a werewolf. He was burned at the stake in 1574 and is known as the Werewolf of Dole. So the Werewolf of Dole was another 16th century Frenchman whose claim to fame also boasted about an ointment with morphing wolf abilities. He as well murdered many children and ate them. That's not good. Grr, there he is. Whether all these men were cold-blooded killers or mentally ill or acting under the influence of some hallucinogenic substance are all up to debate. Superstitious Europeans during the 16th century soon chose to believe such heinous acts could only be committed by a horrific beast with snarling teeth. Let's see here. Another one is the Bedburg wolf. Peter Stubb, a wealthy farmer from the 15th century in German, may be the most notorious werewolf of them all. According to the myths and folklore, he turned into a wolf-like creature at night and would devour many citizens in Bedburg, Germany. Peter was eventually blamed for all his gruesome killings after he managed to get cornered by the hunters who claimed they saw him shapeshift back into a wolf. Back from a wolf to a human form. Peter experienced a gruesome execution after he confessed under torture. So, what's to say this man actually wasn't a werewolf and wasn't, again, how it could have been somebody in a citizen that they didn't like, and hey, let's claim them to be a werewolf. And again, kind of like the witch trial thing, they actually would torture them and get them to confess to savagely killing animals, men, women, and children, and eating all remains of the victims. Peter also claims ownership of owning an enchanted belt. It's like the Batman belt that gave him the power to transform to a wolf at will. Allegedly, the belt was never found upon his death. Surprise! Um, Maybe the belt transformed and went away. Peter's guilt is controversial since some people believed it was a form of witch hunter or werewolf hunt and enforcing a false confession from his lips. Either way, both stoked rampant fear among the time when werewolves were running amok. Amok, 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 amok. All right, so going back to my banners here. So, werewolves, also known as lycanthropes or children of the moon, are humans that have contracted a disease from demons, resulting in their transformation and enhanced abilities. There are two kinds of werewolves. One, you're either born a werewolf with werewolf parents, or you get infected with with lycanthropy through a bite or a scratch, which it does not say there. This is the curse. All right. Even a man who is pure at heart, says his prayers by night, may become a wolf when the wolfsbane blooms and the autumn moon is bright. This is wolfsbane, also known as monk's hood. If you look at it closely, it looks like a hood. It actually looks like a hood to a monk. So that's kind of interesting. This is very, very highly poisonous. I shall bring this up now. Wolfsbane is poison plant. Saturn and Mars is the ruling planet of this plant. Elements are fire and ether. Zodiac signs, deities. Hecate, there she is. Remember, Hecate is in charge of the poisonous plants. Because of its baneful nature, it could be used in sympathetic magic to bring harm to another by creating elf bolts. Elf bolts, yes, elf bolts. Or sharpened flint dipped in wolfsbane juice and piercing a poppet, which would actually, another name for a poppet would be your voodoo doll for the victim with them. So that's not very nice. No, that's not. So I want to point out here, this is the man on the right, of course, and the wolf is on the left, or the werewolf. Now, Sara, my daughter, has actually seen. I was with her. We were driving, and she actually saw this creature run across the road at near my old property, and she said that it was stuck in mid transformation, and that's what this picture reminds me of. It's like it was half morphed. She said that it turned and it looked at her, and then it ran off into the long grass in the bushes on the side of the road. So I thought that was interesting. They are shapeshifters, yes. Some legends maintain werewolves shapeshifted at the will shapeshift due to a curse. Others believe they transform with the help of an enchanted sash or belt or cloak, or ointment made of wolf's pelt. Others claim that you are turned or given the curse upon being scratched or bitten by a werewolf. Did you know in the 16th century, Europe is believed that eating a tomato could turn you into a werewolf? Tomatoes are called, what do they call them? They call them wolf peaches. So tomatoes were known as wolf peaches. So in Europe, they would not eat tomatoes with the fear that it would actually turn them into a werewolf. Is that not crazy? That's nuts. I thought that was crazy. I'm going to jump back over to comments real quick, being rude. You've been called a werewolf a few times. Because you bite. Okay, that's funny. Elf bolts, 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 elf bolts. Ash, welcome, Ash. Good to see you, sweetheart. Wolf bolts. So, elf bolts. Sorry, wolf peaches and elf bolts. Wow, he's a little creepy dude. How'd you like to be walking in your backyard and see this looking back at you? In many werewolf stories, a person only turns into a wolf upon a full moon, and that theory may not be far-fetched. According to a study conducted at Australia's Calvary Mater Newcastle Hospital, Natalie might know of this place, a full moon brings out the beast in many humans. A term lunatic is derived from the word luna, meaning moon. The study found that of 91 violent, acute behavioral incidences at the hospital, many revolved around the full moon phase. Patients attacked staff and displayed wolf-like behaviors such as scratching, biting, spitting. Although many were under the influence of drugs and alcohol, it is unclear why they all became so intensely violent, or violet, I suppose. They turned into a violet, why not? When the moon was full. So, werewolf facts, here we go. So, the name Wolfman in Old German is what werewolf means. Body parts: wolf's body covered with hair, long fangs, sharp claws, glowing eyes. Where are they? They are in North America. Here, they're in Maine. Where Europe, Asia, wherever wolves are present. Legendary origin, ancient European folklore. The grave situation: when werewolves are hungry and can't find enough victims in the street, legend has it that they head to the local graveyard to dig up fresh bodies and feast on their remains. The marked man: werewolves are said to show signs of their beastly identity either while in human form. This can be anything from a strange birthmark, sound familiar, just like the witches, and long fingernails to bushy eyebrows and hairy palms. I thought hairy palms meant something else. We won't go there. All right, the werewolf may look like a normal person by day. It may even look like someone you know. At night, however, it transforms into a horrible monster, taking a wolf-like features, and it prowls through the dark, searching for living victims or even robbing graves. I did not know about the grave robbing part. I thought that was interesting. So now I ask you, are these beasts real or just a horrific legend? Hmm. Peter the Wild Boy in 1725 was found naked on all fours wandering through the forest in Germany. There was much speculation he was raised by wolves. Peter ate with his hands and could not speak. He was eventually, my nose is bugging me again. He was eventually adopted by the court's King George I and King George II and lived out the rest of his days as their pet in England. That's kind of mean and cruel, but I guess if they treated him nicely, I don't know. Welcome, Whispers in the Realm of Darkness. Yay! So happy to have you with us. Research has shown Peter likely had Pitt-Hopkins syndrome, a condition discovered in 1978 that caused lack of speech, seizures, distinct facial features, difficulty breathing, and intellectual changes. I have asthma. Maybe I'm a werewolf. It tickled me, sorry. Other medical conditions through history that may have encouraged werewolf mania are lycanthropy. Gotta jump back over my banners here. Lycanthropy is a rare disease where the victim is convinced he is a wolf or another kind of animal. So that's interesting here. Werewolves. Pack creature who shift between human and wolf, known for tremendous loyalty. Werewolves are highly territorial creatures that can shift between human and wolf. Unlike vampires, they are not turned. They must be born a werewolf to a werewolf parent and are very secretive, choosing to live outside the mainstream. Werewolves are pack creatures led by the alpha wolf, better known as the pack master. They have a tremendous sense of loyalty and a keen sense of smell. Upon shifting, werewolves' eyes grow orange. Shifting is voluntary except when a full moon is present. Now, this is interesting because the Nordics, his Nordic is gonna braid. So the Nordic werewolves, they weren't vicious, and you're gonna learn about them. So this is quite interesting. Food poisoning was another excuse for going around eating people. Food poisoning, eating people. I don't know. Maybe they got food poisoning from eating people. I know a few people that made upset my stomach. Hypertrichosis, rare genetic disorder causing excessive hair growth. I do have that. Here he is. This is Larry Gomez. He's actually very, very popular, and this is something that he cannot control. His hair just grows all over his body. Um, let's see here. Rabies is another one that they blamed for being a werewolf. Hallucinations, possible brought on by the mind-altering drugs. Mushrooms. I don't know. Wolfbane. I don't know. Through the many centuries, people have claimed werewolves among their beasts to be unexplainable. In modern times, werewolves are glorified in Hollywood. In horror films such as The Wolfman in 1941, among American Werewolf in London, which is one of my favorite movies, and let's not forget the wolves in the vampire movie, which the sparkly vampires, which we won't discuss. Okay. So that's interesting. Werewolves do have a cult following. Werewolf sightings are reported worldwide every year, including here in Maine. Yes. And this is why I'm doing this class tonight, because it's June and we're getting outside and the weather's getting nice and we're doing barbecues and we're having fires outside. So just be leery if something comes creeping around. I am sure werewolf stories will continue to haunt our dreams and nightmares until the end of humanity. That is it on that. So I'm going to go through a couple more banners here. The werewolf is found worldwide though it is believed to have originated in Northern Europe. Humans turn into werewolves only when bitten or scratched. There is no known cure. Through recent developments in potion making have to a great extent alleviated the worst symptoms once a month at the full moon. Otherwise, sane and normal, wizard or muggle afflicted transformation into a murderous beast. Transition. So this kind of shows you how the hands, if you look at the hands, they don't lose a finger. They don't get a paw like a regular wolf does. So if you look at the hand at the top there, it actually has 5 fingers. That's one way. And I will say werewolves and skinwalkers are not the same thing, okay? A skinwalker becomes a skinwalker by eating cannibalism, and they have to eat a relative, somebody that is of their own blood, and that's what turns them into a skinwalker. So that's a borderline thing here. So here's the paw in the hand here. So this is what the paw in the hand would look like. And then we have the grrr, grrr, grrr. Okay. Lycanthropy is a rare psychiatric syndrome that involves a delusion that the affected person has transformed into, or is an animal. Its name is associated with the mythical condition of lycanthropy, a supernatural affliction in which humans are said to physically shapeshift into wolves. It is purported to be a rare disorder. So if you see a werewolf wearing a bathrobe around a fireplace, odds are it's human. Lycans versus werewolves. In the werewolf, the transformation to wolf takes place on the full moon day, and they cannot restrict the transformation. And a lichen, the transformation to wolf can take place anytime in any place. Persons are transformed into werewolves and lichens one another. Werewolf or lichen bites them. Werewolves, which have their origin in English folklore, are human beings that have been changed into humanoid wolves, whereas lichens are humanoid wolves. Okay, that's confusing. Both the lichen and the werewolf possess great superhuman powers, agility, speed, regenerative abilities, coordination. unlike me tonight, I can't talk, and have excellent tracking abilities. Werewolves and lycans have almost the same physical strength. Unlike the werewolf, lycans are said to be smarter. When compared to a werewolf, a lycan is a bit more muscular, hubbada hubbada. While a lycan is said to be religious, a werewolf represents witchcraft. Lycans are more difficult to kill than werewolves. To kill a lycan, one should have to sever the spine from its body. They cannot be killed using silver. On the other hand, a werewolf can be killed with silver objects piercing them into the head or into their heart. Now, as I said, in Nordic tradition, and I thought this, oh no, this is Irish. I'm sorry, I thought it was Nordic. The Irish werewolf is different from the Teutonic of European werewolf, as is really not a monster at all. Unlike its wow, these big words, I can't say them tonight. Continental cousins, this shapeshifter is the guardian and protector of children. So it's just the opposite. It protects wounded men and lost persons. According to some ancient sources, the Irish werewolves were even recruited by kings at the time of war, known in their native land as the Faladuff, yeah, and Conracht. Their predatory behavior is typical of the common wolf, not beneath the occasion nocturnal raid. My apologies to anybody that's Irish, because I'm sure I screwed those words up, so please forgive me, and no hate mail, please. So here's the wolf. All right, so through history. So here we have the human being, and we have the wolf man going over the wolf features, the wolf man, the creepy thin monster there, over there. Yes, yes, yes. Then we have the furry fellow there, and then the huge muscular one. It just shows you how it's progressed through the ages. And then the monsters, the normal wolf and the oversized wolf. So the types above are the basic types. They are countless variations without tail, bigger, smaller, poisonous fangs. So they don't have tails. Apparently these don't up here, but I see tails, so I'm being lied to. How do you become a werewolf? By birth, inherited. You get bitten or scratched, drinking a potion, wearing a wolf coat or pelt or belt, drinking out of wolf footprint. That's interesting. Being cursed by a god or a wizard. Don't piss off the gods. General werewolf information. The nature of werewolves. Evil? Question mark. Just people who can change into wolves. Innocent people who involuntarily turn into monsters. Development of the werewolf myth or origin, prehistoric mythology, werewolf trials around 1600, peak modern fiction. Abilities and weaknesses can only be killed with silver bullet in human form. Super speed, strength, smell, hearing, night vision, animal urges, and wolfsbane. So wolfsbane supposedly is supposed to help them to prevent when the wolfsbane blooms. That's a trigger for them. But I know that there are potions, yes, there are potions that you can actually make out of wolfsbane that's supposed to suppress the changing and the development of them switching over to becoming a werewolf. So I thought that was interesting. So the berserkers, we're going to talk about the berserkers for a minute. Werewolf stories based on the Vikings. Here we go, Nordic. You probably know about the berserkers, the Viking shock troop who took shrooms. Yes, mushrooms. They went on a trip and they went berserk. And all the most hardcore of all the berserkers were the, yeah, I'm not even saying that word, the Ulfner, who wore wolf skins. Gory memories of murderous fury raiders gave rise to stories about men who turned into wolves. And this is the Giles Garner, was a French hermit, as I said, confessed to and was convicted of being a werewolf. He was burned at the stake in 1574 and is known as the Werewolf of Dole. There's actually a wolf protection spell that you can actually do. It's 2 green candles, 1 white candle, a picture of a wolf, essential oil, Basically, the essential oil can be any essential oil that you kind of want to use, that you wish to dress the candles with. That's candle dressing. Consecrate oil in water. The Luna drink, this is just water left out under a full moon. That's what the Luna drink is. And you chant the following: candles three, green and white, bring protection here this night. The moon is full, the sky is clear, misfortune and evil will disappear. The mighty wolf shall ever reign and be protected from harm and bane. Come hither, spirits of the wolf, strong and great. Be guarded by this circle and throughout your life. So that's interesting. One more thing. Warning, beware werewolf sightings and attacks. Beware of the full moon. Beware of the moon. I'm going to jump over to chat real quickly here. So, what do you guys think? It's kind of a brief thing on the werewolves and stuff tonight, but I just thought that was quite interesting how they had the witch trials, but predating that was werewolf trials. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But it goes to show you when education's very important. And when you don't educate yourself and learn about certain things, fear can just fear is a powerful emotion. And that can actually just take you over and create. I believe in everything. I've told you this before because I'd rather say I believe in everything and then start checking, well, no, I did the work on that and I don't see that's right. And I ask certain things if that's right or not. They basically tell me everything does exist, whether it's in our dimension or it's interdimensional and other dimensions as well. So it's hard to say, no, it doesn't exist, and it does exist. And then you have the collective consciousness. When you have enough people believing, like in Slenderman, for instance, Slenderman was a made up character, okay, from a guy in Florida. But by enough people believing in it, it punches a hole in our dimension because that consciousness creates. When you have enough people that come together consciously focusing on the same thing, they can heal parts of the world by doing this. You can heal livers, you can heal people doing this. I just wish they would do it for good things instead of bad things. But when you have enough people that believe in certain things, it will punch a hole into our dimension, and it can come through at certain times. When there's certain times a year, you got Samhain, Halloween time. The gateway's open there. It's when the veil's the thinnest. Yeah, stuff flying around. It could be me. The Zozo demon. Yes, exactly. It's yes. Yep. Yeah, I agree. Well, I actually had a client contact me, and she says to me, "Do you know who Slenderman is?" And I said, "Yes, I know who Slenderman is. I raised 4 children." And she says, "You're not going to believe this, but we saw Slenderman." And I said, "I'm going to tell you what you saw." And I said, "You have a child at home?" "Yes." Your child just got into learning about Slenderman?" "Yes." Okay, so now their child is fixated. I had my youngest daughter, Hannah, was fixated with Slenderman to the point that she was so fearful of him that she created an alter ego of him that was white, and he was good and he protected her, and she honestly believed that. Intent is a very powerful thing, my friends. It really is, and this is why I throw it at you all the time. It really, really is. You used to have a crush on Slenderman. So yeah, it's just kind of crazy. But and I told her, I said, what you're seeing is something demonic taking on the form of Slenderman. Why would they do that? Well, let me explain to you. If a demon presents itself and it shows himself and you're not quite sure what it is, yes, that fear comes out in you, okay? Not knowing what it is. But if something that you know, that you've read about, that you've studied about, such as Slenderman, and then a demon appears to you as being Slenderman, okay, you get it's like the two birds, one stone theory, I call it, okay? the demon's feeding off of you because it's getting that really big, huge, oh my God, it's Slenderman out of you instead of what the hell is that over there in the bushes? It's kind of creepy looking. I'm not sure what that is. So you see what I'm saying? So they use the power of things that nothing, the darkness, nothing knows the darkness in you more than the darkness does. And remember that. And this is part of your shadow work. And this is part of the stuff I'm trying to unbury you guys with. I don't fear demons any longer. I used to, but I don't anymore. I don't fear them. I take that power away from them. When you are fearful of these beings and these things, you're giving them the power over you. You have to stop that and you have to take your power back. You have no power here, damn it. Okay, so there is a Cherokee blessing I like to do. May the warm winds of heaven blow softly upon your house. May the Great Spirit bless all who enter there. May your moccasins make happy tracks in many snows, and may the rainbow always touch your shoulder. So, one more. Danger! Werewolf sightings remain inside during the full moons. Hello. Hi, something just went flying over here. During the full moon, silver bullets available upon request. Okay, so that's my dissertation on werewolves and lycanthropes. Hi, Julie. Welcome, my sweet pea. So we're going to have some fun. I'm going to move my keyboard here. We're going to do a little bone casting. Anybody up for some bone casting? I got my bones right here. So I'm going to drop you guys down. Bye-bye. See you later. Whoops. Oh, my camera broke again. Damn it. Had it right. It's been working great. It's just the tape pulled off. Okay. I think that should work. It's going to keep going. It's going to keep going. I'm just going to move a few things. Just going to move my junk. The one thing I didn't check was my camera. All right. So, all right. So, now put that aside. I'm going to pull up this and this and this and this. Yeah. I'm going to move this up here so you guys can see. Got to move my. I'm so unorganized tonight. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I'm gonna pull it back out. I'm gonna pull it forward. I gotta figure out how I can. I need some tape. I don't need some tape. Let me grab this piece of tape out of there. Hang on a minute, guys. I'm gonna jostle you around a little bit. Okay. I'm just trying to tape you back down. Yeah. I think we're good now. Yay. Okay, so I can come back this way. Yay. All right. A little unorganized to me. Okay. So again, we have Mon. Eep, eep. So who wants to go first tonight? This is my lovely selenite I keep in here with it. We have the key. We have this little dude. We have this little dude. I've been trying to find bones. I'm going to be purchasing some bones because I want to make some more bone sets and sell them. I love these so much, man. I've always wanted to make a set, and I'm so happy that I did because I really, really, absolutely enjoy these. Okay. I think that's it. I'm missing a tooth. Where's my damn tooth? There it is. I always miss the tooth. Nothing but the tooth. Okay. Moving box. Okay. So I think Julie, seeing this is going to be fun. Holy moly, it's warm in here. I gotta kick my slippers off. My feet are sweating. Oop. Okay. Julie. So what you're gonna do, my sweet, is you're gonna put your thought, you're gonna throw your energy over here. The skull represents man, which is the rune for self. So that's what that's representing there. And I'm going to pick up all my bones. Try to anyway. Put a thought, put a question into man here. Okay. All righty. Julie, here we go. You ready? You ready, Julie? I'm dropping them. All right. So I'm going to take out the ones we're not going to read because they're upside down. I don't read the ones that are upside down, so those can go away. Okay. So this is a cluttered mess over here. It's my fault the way I dropped them. But so it's funny because you have the whoops. You have the self one that's there. So this represents movement, progress, changes in trust. That's what that one stands for. This one stands for friendship, fortunate, and optimism. So that's what that one stands for. This one is balance of the four elements, earth, four seasons. So this is quite interesting, Julie, because right now I'm actually seeing balance in you. Meditations. Have you been doing a lot of meditations, my sweet? Because that's what these are kind of telling me, that you're very well balanced. You have the heart here, okay? It's not the broken heart. The broken heart's on this side, okay? This is the heart. So this is showing me your heart chakra is wide open. You've got a lot of love that you're throwing out there. You're healing, you're helping people, you're doing, and you're an amazing being. Not to mention my soul sister. So that's quite interesting there, Julie. This one represents constraint, and it's upside down and it's facing towards this. If it was facing this way, this is growth and this is opening, but I'm not taking this as constraint, like you're being held down. I'm not taking this as you have a spiritual attachment. The way I am actually taking this is there's a balance. You have a balance going on here, just as you have a light side and a dark side, and this is the balance in between. So I'm not seeing this as a bad thing, Julie. I'm really, really not. And then we have these puppies over here. Let's see. Let's start off with this one. Okay. So we have this represents joy here, right here. This represents joy. And we have prosperity going on here. So that's a good thing. And it landed like almost in the eyeball. So that's quite cool. This is power. This triangle represents, it's a pyramid of power. And I put the arrow to point, and it's actually pointing at the skull. So this is telling me that you're calling back your powers to you. You're taking back your powers from your past lives. You're dealing with a lot of karmic stuff, and that's coming to pass. So that's a really good thing here. We do have this little devilly dude, but if he landed upright like this, I would be more concerned that it's an attachment and blah, blah, blah. It's not. It was upside down, and it's showing me that you're pushing negative entities and these things away from you is what I'm seeing, because all the stuff here in the center of it is blocking that out. So it's actually showing me you have barriers up, Julie, and your intent is awesome. That's fantastic, because you're really, really building good barriers for yourself here. This is flow that's going on over here. You have openings here, which is great. That's going on here. This is your wish, but the wish is on the other side of the bone. So something that you wish for is coming to you, Julie, but it's not in the near future, as in 6 months, 3 months. I would say about 3 months out. Whatever you actually wish for is going to come to you in about 3 months' time. That's what I get off of that. So that's quite interesting there. This one stands for strength, and it's facing towards this. So I'm seeing that you've really taken your power back, Julie. You've really taken back your strength. You're really getting over this negative, worrying about negative things, possibly. We all worry, oh my God, am I going to get possessed if I help somebody? And, this and that. And I'm really seeing there's a change in you. I haven't seen you in a bit, so other than talking with you on here or once in a while through Messenger, I haven't been over to see you, or you haven't come to see me recently. So that's quite interesting. I'm really seeing a huge growth in you, and I'm actually feeling it too, to believe it or not. You're in a good place, feeling good, fantastic. This one's really good. This one represents vacation, and this is go facing towards you. So this is showing me that you're planning on going on vacation very soon, or you're planning maybe vacation at home. That's a wonderful thing too. But this is you spending time out in nature. This is showing you dealing with the light side as well as the dark side as well. So that's really cool there. This dude, he's out of the picture, so that's kind of crazy. Now this is interesting. The key, okay? The key is actually pointing at this. This stands for partnership. So there's an opening, because keys open things, okay? So this key is opening. Maybe you and Dennis, your hubby, are going to have maybe a second honeymoon, where you're going on vacation. I see this as, it's kind of weird because I feel that this is supposed to be all together. So maybe you guys are going to take a vacation together and spend some time, and it's going to be really great for your relationship. And you have a wonderful relationship to begin with, but this is going to be even feed more energy and positivity into your relationship with that. So because that does stand for partnership, so that's quite interesting. And where's my tooth? Oh, there it is. Okay, so this is interesting. It did land on shadow work, but it's pointing away. It's actually pointing at me. And I'm feeling that you have been doing your shadow work and dealing with the fears and the stuff that concerns you, and it's pointing away. And I'm taking this as you're removing karmic debt from your family. Does that make sense to you, Julie? You're removing karmic debt and you're sending it away from your family and your loved ones. So that's what I see in these bones, my love. So that's what's going on there. Who wants to go next? Great job, Julie. I'm proud of you, sweetie. Getting over those fears and all that lovely stuff. So who's next? I'm going to pick up the bones. I'm going to go in order. Adam's right after Julie. So Adam, connect with man here while I pick up my bones. My old saggy bones. Oh, I dropped my bones. Ha ha ha. Didn't break a bone. Okay, so Vincent, excuse me, Adam. We're doing Adam first. Sorry. Then we'll do Vincent. Okay. So put your thought, put your question, whatever you got going on there. Here we go. All right, here we go. Bones, bones everywhere. Okay, so this one I'm going to start with right away, okay? This represents journey, okay? And this represents the self. Let's see here. Journey, freedom, potential. So I'm seeing I'm going to tell you what I get off of this, Adam, is I feel that you've removed cords from yourself and attachments that have been holding you and making you sick. And that's what I'm getting off of that bone, Adam, if that makes sense. So I'm going to put this one away. This represents a wish coming true, and the heart's pointing at you. So, and again, I would say this is about 2 months out. 2 months out. If it was like this, that would be immediate or to 1 month. And this is, I'm seeing 2 months out. So I'm getting a 2 month period with this stone over here. We're not going to read this one because it's upside down. You still got the shadow stuff going on here, and it is pointing at you. So it's showing that there's some shadow work to be doing, but we always have shadow work, so don't take that personally, Adam. But this represents openings. So I see that by you doing your shadow work, you're creating openings. And again, you have the key right here. which is also openings. So you're removing, and again, like I said, even though this represents the shadow work and the self that needs to do shadow work, I'm seeing you doing it, Adam. And I see that you're opening up new wonderful things that are coming your way. And I'm actually being told you have new abilities coming, my friend. They're giving you a gift here pretty soon. You're going to have, it's a psychic ability. It's a vision, like seer, being able to see things more clearly. And by doing the shadow work, that's going to break that open so you can get more stuff out there. So that's interesting with that. So let me move these out of the way because we did all of these. Now we have constraint over here, but it's sideways. I don't feel that it's pertaining to that, Adam. I really don't. So this is pertaining to patience, omens, stress and obstacles, but again, it's sideways. If it was upright or this way and it was closer to you, again, I have a barrier created here and it's movement. Okay? We have progress, changes, trust. So this is constraint here, but I have this movement. This is almost like I'm seeing you putting up barriers. And do you see this bone here? And do you see what this is right here? Okay. I see you're actually putting up barriers and holding back negative things from affecting your physical health and your physical life is what I'm seeing with that, Adam. So that's really cool. And this one we have partnership again here. The opening is away from us and I'm trying to figure out, this is a new one here and I'm trying to figure out what this one is. Give me a second, guys. It's not that, yeah, love loss in a partnership. So this has nothing to do with Vincent. I'm trying to figure out what this is going on. So this is partnership and this is love loss in a partnership. It's almost like maybe you had a friend, like a longtime friend that you were good friends with for a while and you've parted ways. That's what I'm getting off of that. I'm not getting a love relationship off of this, Adam. I'm getting it like maybe it was just, or maybe you're removing friends from your life that are not of your vibration any longer and you don't want it to be pulling you down anymore. So I always tell my clients and my friends, keep everybody at arm's length. Love them with all your heart and all your might, but keep them at arm's length. It's okay to help people, but when they start pulling you down like a millstone in a pond does, that's when you have to kind of push it back. Create that barrier, okay, and push it back, okay. And it's funny because it fell next to this dude over here, so it could be. It's weird because I'm getting the word alcohol. Why am I getting the word alcohol? It could be a friend that had an alcoholic problem, I suppose. I'm not sure. That's kind of weird. So again, you have the vacation, but it's facing away. Bring on the gift. I'm ready to have abilities. Lord, to help me on my journey. Absolutely. So we have the 777 that's facing you here. And I'm seeing spiritual growth with this is what I'm seeing with that Adam. So that's really good there. It's almost like maybe like, I don't believe in heaven. And now it's like, oh, maybe it does exist. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just using that as i.e. an example. But this one's actually more spiritual growth, but it makes sense. They just told me that you have more gifts coming to you. So that totally makes sense to me. Let's see here. I'm going to move down to this one over here. And I'm trying to, this is the willpower of the self. So, I'm getting exercise, I'm getting working out, I'm getting you really pushing yourself with your willpower to call back your power to you, to get your strength, to get the perfect body archetype that you have that's set in your head, not what society thinks of you. This is your willpower to move mountains, okay? With love, you can move mountains. And that's what I'm getting off of that. This also represents the self here too. This is all about you, Adam. This is definitely all about you. Self. Ah, you selfish little bugger. Here goes my tape. Dagnabbit. I need another piece of tape. Don't go down. Stay. I'm gonna move it back. Yeah, this way. Okay. All right. So that's quite interesting. So I'm getting the self and strength here. And again, that's willpower again. So these two are representing your willpower, which is really extremely strong. I can actually feel it. It's kind of crazy. This is opening. This is the balance. That's what that represents to me. So again, you guys, I'm getting a lot of good balance. A friend thing is very relevant. I had a set apart from a very good friend who's constantly negative and toxic. There it is. Okay. It's sad, but it's sometimes it had to be done. Yes. It absolutely does. And that's what I was getting off of that, Adam. So thank you for that validation. Thank you so much. I'm getting growth. This is again spiritual growth, but this is also a physical growth as well with you, Adam. So that's really good. And you always, every time I've done these readings on you, you've always gotten the broken heart, Adam. You didn't get it tonight, sweetheart. You got the love, man. You got the love going on. You got the love vibe going on. I see your heart again, like Julie, your heart. You guys, your hearts are. Don't be surprised if you feel things on your back, because you got your heart, your heart chakra is a gateway, and you're going to start crossing things over through your heart chakra. I feel movement on my back all the time. It's wiggy at first, but you actually get used to it. So that's kind of cool there. But this is lots of love coming to you, Adam, here. And again, this represents balance. I created this sucker myself. You will not find this in a book. It's the equal arm cross, basically, is what it is, but it represents the four seasons. It represents, it represents the balance in life, and the balance in you, Adam, is what this is telling me that you got going on here. And look at this. This is wide open to you. Look at that huge growth. That's growth right there. Okay. I remember this because it looks like boobies to me, and my boobies are growing. No, just kidding. But that's how I remember that rune. So if anybody can use that analogy, it's kind of weird, but hey, that's how, the stupider the better. That's how I remember things. But you got this huge growth, man, going here. And actually I'm seeing it as a gateway too. So that's really quite interesting. This is so positive, unlike those damn cards last week. Vincent, you want to give it a go, my sweet little friend? My sweet little flower friends? I just had to throw out my lilies today. I wish I could have kept them like I did the roses, because the roses I can dry, but the lilies, of course, they fall off the stems. But I just finally, I had them outside because they were falling apart. I couldn't throw them away. So those flowers really did last me a long time, guys. Thank you so much for that. I really got so much enjoyment out of that. You're so welcome, Adam. All right, Dr. Vincent. It's your turn. Connect with men. Connect with Mon. Okay, here we go. Dropping. Ooh. I am going to read that one even though it's upside down, because it's in the eyeball. And look at these. They all went upside down, upside down, upside down. So those don't pertain to anything. I am going to read this one. Again, there's that balance. This is really good too, and that's good. And boy, you got a lot of good things going on. All right, so we're going to start off with this one over here, I think. Prosperity and heritage. So again, this has to do with your family, and there's a balance that's got to go on there with the family. I'm still seeing maybe some like issues, but I'm seeing it's getting better. It's showing me that there's a balance coming into play now. Speaking your mind a little bit more, because I know that I call you the red yes man, and not to be disrespectful. You are so in love with people in your family, and you care for them so much that you're willing to sacrifice your own feelings for theirs. You need to stop, because when you do that, it adds to your shadow self. And that's what we have going on over here, which is the shadow self. But again, So prosperity and heritage. So this is, I'm getting family off of this bone here, if that makes sense to you, Vincent. The shadow self, again, though, it's pointing away. It's not, if it was pointing towards it, it's telling me you have to do more shadow work and you got to do a lot of stuff going on here, but it's pointing away. It's almost like maybe this karma debt in your family, and it's showing me that it's leaving the building, if that makes sense. Then we go over to here. We have the vacation, spending time in nature, being outside, doing lovely things with your lovely husband. That's what I see going on with that. About 3 months out, maybe you're going to take a vacation in 3 months is what I'm getting with that one too as well. What is that noise? What am I hearing? Guys, I'm hearing a weird noise. Hang on. Just stop. There was a growl by my bedroom door. That's interesting. Okay. All right. That was interesting. And it's not a dog. All right. So we have the pyramid of power, but it's going away from you. So the flow, the energy is going away from that. The pyramid. So it's like taking your power back. But this one represents here. This represents joy. And let's see here. That represents joy to me, and there's balance going on here, and there's openings going on here. I'm just wondering, the pyramid, why is it upside down? Give me a second. Okay. Okay. So again, this partnership is going on, and it's almost like you're giving your power away to people. That's what I'm getting off of that bone, Vincent. I don't know if that makes sense to you. Like for instance, you're not like holding your thoughts in and not speaking your mind. Somebody might ask you your opinion, and you just agree with them, so that way you don't have to get into a bigger debate about something, and it's like you're giving that power away there. But then if we go over here to this side over here, we have friendship very close to you, fortunate and optimism. So again, you're an extremely very positive person, Vincent, and I don't want you hurting yourself by giving your power away to people. I need you to start speaking your mind, because again, it adds to the shadow self side. It creates more shadow work when you don't speak your mind to people. So that's interesting. But again, you have the balance going on over here. So that's quite interesting there. The balance, I'm seeing more growth in you. I really am. You got the key going on over here, and this, I'm going to read the part that is actually facing, and that is love. So you got more love opening up to you. And I'm taking this as your heart chakra. Have you been having heart palpitations at all? Because when your heart chakra opens up even more, you get heart palpitations, you get the fluttering that kind of goes on in the heart. Sometimes we think that it's just we need to hydrate ourselves or whatever, but the heart chakra, it's the electrical part of the heart that's actually creates that little fluttering, and that it's new energy that's going into your heart space, and it's activating new things. Okay, so again with that, this is an ascension thing. This tells me that you're going up, and the key was right underneath it. Okay, that's why I'm saying that your heart chakra has opened up even more, Vincent, and that's why I felt the heart palpitations and stuff going on there with that. So that's quite interesting there. We have movement. This is your wish, this coming true, but I'm going to say it's about 6 months out. That's going on here, and it's laying parallel. If the heart is pointing towards the skull, that means that the energy is flowing towards you, and it can actually happen faster. Where the heart's kind of sideways, it is 6 months. Okay, so but again, what I say is not in stone. Please know this. The if you guys ever noticed the rune, there is a blank rune, and it's the rune is represents Odin. It represents fluidity. It represents that the future is like water. It can always be changed. It doesn't mean that everything is set in stone. So that's what I wanted to point out there. So that's so you have movement and love going on here. You have the flow. And it's funny because it's pointing towards growth because you have the growth over here. Okay, so this love in this, so this is all has to do with your heart chakra, Vincent. Everything on this table that I'm looking at has to do with your heart chakra opening up and feeling more and letting down your guard a little bit more. I need you to speak your mind. That's what I need you to do. Don't create more shadow stuff for yourself. So that's what I'm getting with that. So I hope that's okay, Vincent. Don't hate me. All right. So let's do Shane. Shane, let's give you a go, my fuzzy little friend. My fuzzy little friend. Swear I'm gonna be devastated if I lose that tooth one of these times. Okay, Shane, connect with man here, please. Whoops. See, there he goes. See, he wants to jump ship. You're so welcome, guys. And I love you, Angie. Okay. All right, so we're not going to read this one. This one's actually off the table. I'm not going to read that one. Okay, what is this jumbled? So we have openings going on over here, and it's facing towards you. So I'm seeing a lot of spiritual growth here, Shane. I do have the broken heart on the top, but that's not what I'm going to read. I'm reading the side that is facing towards man, okay, which is the number 3. This has to do with the Trinity. This has to do with power. This has to do with Father, Son, Holy Ghost. You know, it has to do with heaven. It has to do with spiritual growth. And these two fell together, okay? So this is you working on your spiritual growth. And I'm really seeing a lot of high progress in that. And it's funny because the 777 fell towards the skull. And again, this is spiritual growth here. So you're going leaps and bounds. Everybody's going. I'm so proud of you guys. Must be all these lovely Reiki classes. All right, so we have the flow going on over here. The flow in love. I see more coming to you, Shane. I'm not going to read this one. I'm not going to read this one. And I'm not going to read this one. I'm going to put the key back on knock the key off. So that's quite interesting. So I'm seeing a lot of love flowing to you. Now, this is interesting. The bones are crossed. Do you see how the bones are crossed? I'm seeing this as a huge barrier. Almost like a block. Why am I getting a block? Because this is movement. I'm getting a block in movement. Give me a second. Okay. So this is a physical movement, they say. This is not a spiritual movement with you, Shane. I think it has to do with this house and prolong a little bit more time here is what that's showing me. And they just validated it. That when I get quiet like that, guys, it's because I'm talking to things, so forgive me. So this has to do with this house and the physical movement here, and it's being blocked right now. It's just showing that it's just going to be a little bit more time is what I'm getting off of that. Um, let's see here. And this one is journey, career, freedom, and potential. And possibly I see you finding a part-time job, Shane. I really do with that. I see like just something that you want to do for you. Well, and I don't mean it's out of the house either. It can be something that you're doing in the house. Like I know that you want to start and creating like smudged kits and stuff and possibly selling them and stuff. I'm seeing that with that. This opening of the key over here is kind of blocked, but there's growth going on over here and it's pointing towards the growth. But like I said, this is a block that I'm seeing here. I'm going to do a meditation, Shane, and see what we can do to remove this block for you. This is good over here. You got good juju over here. There's no attachments going on there for you, so that's really, really good. Um, you have the enlightenment. You landed on the enlightenment side, Shane. That's really awesome. And the enlightenment is going towards your wish. Your wish is right here. So it's telling you, when I'm getting off of this, for your, if you want your wish to come true, don't put what ifs, don't put doubt into it. It's showing me to put the light into it, if that makes sense to you. Metaphysical should work in a metaphysical shop. Yeah, I love metaphysics, man. I really do. This is a major opening. You got the growth going towards this. So I'm going to read these three together. This is how I'm reading them. Okay. We have enlightenment. Okay. Something, your wish is going to be present and it's coming true, but it's showing me it's going to open by putting light into things, and that's what's going to create the growth, and that's what's going to create that gateway for you to go through, to cross over. And that's, oh, they're showing me that's what's going to remove these blocks over here. So that's interesting over here. This also represents partnership here too. A block in a partnership, again, this could represent maybe a friendship of yours that you might have had to terminate because their vibration was just too negative for you. You can't be with people that are just going to suck your energy away, because you can't grow and you can't expand yourself. You can help them, and but it's that old adage, you can lead the horse to water, but you can't make him drink, type of thing. So that's going on there. And again, you have openings going on here and openings going on here, but we just got to get rid of this block, because that's blocking your movement. So this is stagnation right here. So, but I'm seeing this 6 months. So 6 months is basically what it's added on to the time here in this house, if that makes sense, Shane. So if your question had to do with when can we move or whatever, add an additional 6 months onto that, if that makes sense. Okay. Who's next? Natalie. Natalie. Or Ash, whoever speaks up first. Quick, 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 quick. Speak now or forever hold your peace. All right, gathering my bones. Gathering my bones. That is what you asked, was about the movement of the house. Okay. Yeah, it's showing that an additional 6 months is being added on to that, sweetheart. So that's what I just wanted you to know. Okay. So there she is, Natalie. I know, aren't these bones great? I love them. Okay, Natalie, let's rock and roll. Put your thoughts, question, whatever. Focus on the skull. All right, here we go. All right, so this is really great. Look at this, at Natalie. I'm going to start off with my tooth, nothing but the tooth. This is enlightenment, and it was pointed right into your skull. And I'm seeing this as your third eye is opening up even brighter and grander, and that you're seeing a lot more than you actually were seeing before you started your journey, even just a year ago. And they're telling me we're so focused and fixated on where we need to get, we forget to stop and take a moment on our path and turn around and look how far you've come, is what I'm getting off of that. So this is huge. This is you. This is them, like validating. Good job. You got that enlightenment. Your third eye is opening up. And again, I'm feeling more gifts coming for you too as well, Natalie. Now, I want to point out these two here. Did you see this? Your wish is actually in the keyhole. Do you see that? That's crazy. So your wish is not only coming true, because look how close it was to the skull, but the door is open. It's telling me you just need to step through the damn door. Okay, if that makes sense, step through the door. Whatever fear you have that is preventing you from walking through that threshold, shove it aside. Do not give it power and say, you know what, we're our biggest critics, and we're our biggest doubter. Our ego gets in the way, and this is telling you, no ego, take your power back. I want to point this out. You don't think that doing these classes and teaching and doing what I do doesn't scare the shit out of me? Because it does. I sit here and I ask Sarah every time, does this get better? Because every time I get on before my classes, I get the heart palpitations, I start sweating, I get nervous because I'm so worried that that's just me. Self doubt comes in. And what do? I ground myself right before my class, and all my power comes back to me. It's so hard, but you have to do that. So take your power back, girl. Let's see if I can get this down without screwing it up. Okay. So that's quite interesting. So that's really impressive. I'm really impressed with that. Then you have this one laying right on here on top too. This is opening again. You have another opening and it's in your eyeball. So that's interesting. You have freedom and potential. This is actually your soul being set free, if that makes sense, Natalie. Your soul is being set free from the constraints and the things that have been binding you and tying you and holding you down. Okay. This is saying no. That's no longer. You got the flow. You got flow right with you with the flow and the love. Do you see how this one landed? Look at that. So this is good spirit. This represents your spirit guides, and look how close they are. And the opening's right towards you, your mouth. Okay. So this is telling me that you're actually hearing your spirit guides talk to you and you're listening to them. The hardest thing is we always second guess ourselves, and this is telling you you're getting better with not second guessing yourselves. You're hearing your spirit guides talk to you better, so that's really cool. I'm going to put this one away because this one's upside down. So that is quite interesting. Okay, so we have the 777 here, which is spiritual, but I do have this bone that's in the way here of that. But that's let's see here. This is willpower of the self, okay? And that's basically what I'm just what I was just getting off of that is the willpower of the self. Stop second guessing yourself, Natalie. Please, please, please stop. So that's what I'm getting off of that. So that's really cool. And there's love there. You got spirits working with you. This is spirit. This is spirit partnership. You got that partnership. You got that last time too, if I remember right. And again, you have openings with the partnership going on here. Maybe you're going to see your partnership in a new way. You know, because our partnerships that we have, and it doesn't mean that it's necessarily a romantic partnership. It can be a partnership with your mom. It can be a partnership with somebody in your family, or even a friend as well. But this is showing that there's going to be a new. It's going to come back like it's a new again, if that makes sense. So that's really cool going on there. Excuse me. Goodness gracious me. So, let's see here. What else we got going on here? So we have constraint over here, but it's sideways. It's not this way, and it's not this way, and it's sideways. So it's and it's 3 months out. You have the broken heart, but you know what? I'm not even reading that because it's basically off the table, so I'm not even going to. Bye bye. You have movement here, you got balance going on. So this is telling me you have balance in your movement, or movement in your balance, or bowel movements. I don't know. So you have movement and balance, which means that you're doing really great on the shadow work stuff. And like I said, this tooth has really validated that for me right there. So that's definitely, and that's just really, really awesome. And you have the openings, and let's see here, you have the growth is away from you, and the constraint. Now it's funny because you have constraint here and constraint here. You were thinking bowel movement too. If you can't have fun, what's the point, right, guys? All right, so you have constraint here and you have constraint here. Just give me a second, guys. Okay. So the constraints I'm hearing is they're telling me that this has to do with 3 months out, and that something's going to come into your life in about 3 months from now. Natalie, that you might have to, and it's not you being constrained, it's you constraining what's trying to come into your life because it's not of your better interest. That's what I'm getting off of that. I'm also getting it off of this one, and that's what my guides just told me too. That, and again, they're both about 3 months out on both sides of you here. So I'm going to give you 3 months. In 3 months, if a wolf in sheep's clothing comes to your door, don't let them cross the path. It could be a new friendship that you made with somebody and they act like they're great because you know how everybody puts on their best airs when you first meet them, and then it may go sour or south very quickly. So pay attention in 3 months. This is not a constraint on you. That's what my guides just told me. So please do not take it as a constraint on you. This is something that you're going to have to constrain from your life to not allow it to come in. You have the balance and the movement going on here, so that's really good, and the partnerships going on there. So this is, I love these bones, man. These are my faves. Okay, Jasmine, Jazzy, my modest, my goddess modest. All right, put your thoughts into the Taman here. Okay, I think I got them all. All right, here we go, Jasmine. Put a thought, something into, whoops. Okay, that one we're not going to read because it doesn't want to be read. Okay. Let's see here. So, starting off here, well, I'm going to start off with this one right here, Jasmine. These can come off the table. I don't need those. Okay. Shadow work going on over here too. But it's pointing away from you. So we'll discuss that one in a minute. So this one's the one that's one of the ones that's other than the back ones that are coming, and I'll explain those to you in a minute. Um, this is your spirit guides, and they are showing me, and I'm actually, all right, yes, I'm getting Archangel Michael off of this one. Have you been working a lot lately with Archangel Michael? I'm getting his energy off of that, and he's showing me how he's working with you in dream state. I know you're working with Azrael, which is the angel of death, as well in dream state. But I'm getting Archangel Michael is definitely first and foremost there that's going on. So that's quite interesting. This bone, I'm going to pick it up very carefully. This is willpower, and it's right on top of your head, Jasmine. This is you taking back your power. This is you finding your strength. This is you saying, no, this is how it's going to be. I'm not listening to the world. I'm not listening to the other crap, because you know what? All the world does and all the news does is put fear in all that negativity out there for us to keep us restrained, to keep us under pressure, and this is you saying, no, I've had enough. I'm done. I'm doing my own spiritual journey, and I'm done with that. That's your willpower, and you're taking that back. You have constraint here too, but look, it's almost like the teeth want to eat it. You talk to Michael a lot. Awesome, honey. So I'm not getting constraint off of that, and that's weird because because you have your vacation and you got the sunlight, you get nature going on here, and it's saying that if you get constrained by anything to go out into nature, go out and ground and center yourself, and it's falling right next to the shadow self here, and that's what I'm getting off of these three. Is they tell me she forgets to ground and center herself. She gets caught up in her emotions sometimes, and she needs to remember first and foremost, salt baths, grounding, center. You do those two things every day when you're messed up in your head, and I swear it's like it's food for the soul. It's exactly what it is. So that's really, really cool there. So the shadow self, as I said, it's pointing away. So that's showing me that you're removing shadow garbage. You're doing the dump the shadow dump, okay? And you're pushing it away from yourself, and that's great because you're removing karmic debt. And remember, karmic debt that we remove isn't just for us too. It's not a selfish act. You're removing it for your heritage. You're removing it for your family. You're removing it for your children. So when your children grow up, they don't have to go through this crap. They don't have to deal with the alcoholism or the drugs and this and that because you're removing that karmic debt from the family. Basically, you're removing the curse of the family. So that's kind of crazy. So that's what I'm seeing there. We have the key over here, which is an opening. And this is funny because I've never gotten this one before. You have this facing towards you. Okay. This is a gateway. This is an opening. This is spiritual growth. This stands for earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. So that's what the dots stand for: earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. This is a gateway opening. So they're showing me you. Okay, hang on. Wow. You got new gifts coming to you too. Wow, this is crazy. I think these classes are paying off for you guys. They're telling me that you have a new gift, a new spiritual gift that's coming to you. And my Psycho Pump friend, if you remember what Psycho Pump is, that helps cross souls over. Um, that is what your gift is pertaining to, is helping lost souls find their way home, and that's what this new gift is coming to you is, Jasmine. So that's really cool. And again, and that makes sense why Archangel Michael would be right on top of you. He's amazing. I love that little dude, big dude. Okay, so we have this sitting here, and again, the constraint, but it's upside down. It's upside down. And this is here, your willpower. You're taking your power back. So that's really, really cool. So I'm not getting constraint off of that. I'm getting it's canceled out by the willpower in all the work that you've been doing, honey. So that's absolutely fantastic. Um, we have the opening here. I'm not going to read that one. And I got to look this one up. Give me a second. I made these. It takes me a second to look them up. All right, so this is a new bone that I added. That's why I don't know this one. Let's see here. Okay, freedom and potential. That's what these two lines right here mean. Freedom and potential. Okay, that's what that's representing. This so friendship, fortune, fortunate, optimism, and this is freedom in that. So anything that has been restraining a part of you, as far as in maybe in a relationship, it could be something with you and your boyfriend or something that you guys have worked out and it's no longer. I'm assuming that was dust, and then that's being worked out. So that's going on there. We have stand still. No, we got partnership here, and we got partnership, and freedom in the partnership. So that's really cool. So yeah, because if you look, you got it here, you got it here, and they fell out together. So this it's freedom. You're finding freedom. Fear binds us. Fear keeps us trapped, and this is showing me that you have freedom, and that's going on there. This one over here is harvest and completion. So something that you're working on, Jasmine, is showing me 6 months out it will be completed, whether it's a task, whether it has to do with Reiki or setting up a Reiki practice or whatever. It's showing me 6 months out for that, and that's going to happen for you. So that's what I see in these bones here laying here. So who's next? Ashley, you still here, sweetheart? Ashley. If not, I can do Sarah's. Anybody else that I've missed? Chris, you still here, sweetheart? Chris, we need to do a reading on you too, Chris. Chris. All right. So You're most welcome, Jasmine. Absolutely welcome. All right, I'm going to do a reading for Chris first. Let's do a reading for Chris. Even if he's not on here, he can come back and watch it. I'm putting Chris's energies up. That was the demon went flying. Bye bye. So we're not going to read that one. So we have a wish coming true for Chris, and it's right against there. And again, the key. So I think Chris has a breakthrough coming. I know he has some issues in emotional. There he is. Hi, Chris. So I really feel that this is a breakthrough for you here, Chris. I feel that the depression and the sadness, not to get too personal, my sweet, I hope you don't get mad at me. I feel it's going to be lifting very soon, Chris. I've been saying prayers for you too, my love. That's not cool. And over here, you've got lots of love going on because this is the part that is facing the skull here. So you got lots of love coming towards you. So definitely focus on the love. I'm also getting mom energy off of that love. That's your mom. She's telling me that she's sending you love all the time. You just have to be open to receive it, Chris, if that makes sense to you, sweetheart. Wallowing in being in that self sadness, and it's just it's not good because it's a downward spiral, and I need you to come back up, Chris, because we truly do love you, and we really do care about you. And whatever I can do, my friend, please feel free to hit me up. You have constraint going on here. And it's funny because I told you last time that I felt that you had an attachment. The attachment flew off the board. So I don't feel that attachment is there anymore. But what I'm feeling, and that's the constraint, is the energy of it is still kind of hanging around. When something comes into our life and attaches to us, even though we get rid of the attachment, you have to put light into the area, into yourself, to mute or to nullify the energy that was left behind, what I call residual crap energy, okay? What I call the dump. And I'm going to be teaching how to do the dump with tuning forks. And in fact, my friend Tina was over here the day before my birthday. She was over here, and she had an attachment on her, and I told her, let me take it off you. And I said, I'm going to do the dump on you, the lymphatic dump. And when I did that, and I told her, I said, you're going to go home and you're going to have loose stools. I said, it's going to happen almost immediately. And she got home, and I got a message from you and from her. And it's like, you suck. She says, I am going to the bathroom now and it won't stop. So, but it's good because it's a purging, it's a cleansing, it's removing negative crap. Another way that you can remove negative crap from your life, I don't know if you have a bathtub, but even if you don't have a bathtub, soaking your feet in salt. Remember, when I do Reiki, I start at the head and I push the energy through the body and I pull it out the feet. Okay. Taking a salt bath, taking Epsom salts, lavender Epsom salts, regular Epsom salts. You don't have to do a full bath if you guys don't want to take a salt bath. You soak your feet for 20 minutes, no more than 20 minutes. After that, the negativity in the water can be reabsorbed into your feet again. No more than 20 minutes. So by soaking your feet in the salt water, it actually pulls toxins out of your body, number one. Number two, it's also removing spiritual toxins, okay, that have been left behind, that residual garbage, I call it. So that's what I'm seeing there. I do see a journey coming on for you. I see you going places, Chris, very soon. Do you have a trip planned very quickly with your dad? I feel it's ghost hunting. I feel like you're going, it's not so much the Lizzie Borden house, but it's something like the Lizzie Borden house, that you're planning on doing something in the very near future with that. That's what I see with that. That's kind of crazy. Never got the arm before. Opening in partnership. So I'm seeing possibly that you have a new partnership coming into your life. Yes, you do. Okay, awesome. I'm seeing a new partnership. You're going to meet somebody in this on this journey, and you're going to meet somebody new, and it's going to be a valued relationship is what I'm getting off of that, Chris. So somebody new, and it doesn't mean necessarily that it's a girlfriend or the best relationships start from a firm foundation. Establish friendship first and then move on from that. And that way, when this is why most people, when they break up, they're no longer friends anymore, because they started off as boyfriend and girlfriend. They don't know how to step back and just be friends again. Okay, does that make sense? So always start from the friendship point of view and then move on to that relationship. And remember, you want to have the best version. Why not give the best version of yourself to the next person that's coming into your life? So doing that shadow work, where is your tooth? Because you do have the shadow work going on here, because it did land on the shadow self, but again, it's pointing away. It's pointing towards me. And I will continue to work with you, Chris. Anything that I can do and aid, and I want my friend happy. I don't like you sad, and I don't like you upset. In you're too good a person to be living in that, honey. We got to find a happy medium for you, sweetheart, and that's what I want for you. So that's what we got going on here. We do have a balance, but again, it's hidden. It's behind this wall that's over here. But once you remove that restraint, the garbage, the balance is going to come back into your life is what I'm seeing there. And I'm seeing freedom with that. And I'm seeing all these lovely things that are coming into that friendship, fortune, optimism, and that's going to be coming back into play there. So that's a good thing. You have love coming in, lots of love. This is mother love. This is mom. This is mom. She wants me to let you know that she absolutely and truly loves you, and she watches over you like nobody's business. That's her business, is to watch over you. And this is what's laying towards you is the love, and this is the gateway of love. So in order for you to feel the love of your mom, Chris, tonight I want you to do me a favor. Right before you go to bed, I want you to tell your Mom, I want you to come and get me in my dream state, and please let me remember, and I want to feel the love, and I want to come and be with you. We astral project when we go to sleep, and if you put that intent right before you go to sleep, I promise you, your mom will come tonight, and she will let you know she is not gone, my friend. She is still around you. You got 777, so this is spiritual openings. You got growth going on here, so this is spiritual openings. You're growing there, so that's really, really awesome. So that's fantastic there. Look at this, Chris. You got your key, and you got your wish, and the wish is pointing right at you, and it's almost like on top of the bone. So what you're wishing for that happiness in that, when when we're sad and we're depressed, and we go through these emotions, that's our soul telling us that we're not connected, we're not grounded and centered, we're not. You have to find the passion in your life, and I'm so happy that you're going on another vacation with your dad, and that you're going someplace ghosty. um I do want to get you in the habit, though, when you go to these places, when you're done, cut the cord, or I can send you a little prayer that you can say when you get back in the car with your dad, just so nothing funky doesn't come home with you. You don't need to have more garbage coming home with you. Okay, Chris? But that's a great reading, Chris. I really love that, honey. That's really awesome. So, in case you guys are wondering, this is called the scapula. It's actually made of wool. This is what I keep in with my bones. Archangel Michael's on it. And it actually keeps my bones blessed, because I don't want negative things coming in and messing with the readings on my bones, because I'm really getting some good stuff. Who's next? Ashley never answered me, so I'm assuming Ashley's not here anymore. Anybody else? You're most welcome, Chris. And again, I don't, my apologies if I'm too personal, but that's how I heal people, and that's how I help people, is to be personal with things. So please forgive me, and don't be mad at me if I've said too much. Anybody else that I've missed? Sarah. My Sarah's. Oop, and in my tooth. Keep forgetting my tooth. You're most welcome, Chris. Anybody else? Sarah, did you want to go? Do you want to give it a go, Sarah? If not, Sarah, do you want to pass, or you want to go? Because if not, I'm going to flip my camera up. She's not answering me. What are you doing, Sara? Are you playing? Are you making movies? All right. I'm going to do a reading on Sara. Let's see what Sara has to say. Oh, she's down here. Okay. That explains. Okay. So again, she's got freedom going on over here. I'm not going to read this one because this one's upside down. Well, I'm reading yours, Sara. So there. She's got love right next to her. She's got her wish. And I know this has to do with her businesses, and it's right on top of the skull. So this is very, very, it's immediate. It's immediate. You got the balance going on here between between business and the museum and Etsy and everything else. It's showing and also doing your videos and your live streams and everything going on there. You survived an elevator today. See, I told you those cards have no power. So I'm seeing a balance in your wish is coming true to be. This also too, the love is coming towards you, and there's like a gateway that's going on there. I'm actually seeing a vacation coming for you, Sara. Do you want to tell me you're going someplace? So, geez, coffee. Asthma's kicking up. Excuse me, guys. It's really humid here. Humidity kills me. All right. I'm better now. Okay, so we have, again, we have openings going on here. We have more balance. So this is really good. I'm seeing a lot of balance going on here for Sara. I see an opening going on here. Again, spiritual growth, and it's facing this way. And the funny thing is, spiritual growth is on top of love and movement. And then it's on top of this one, which is freedom, letting go of things, not holding back. And believe me, Sara's not one to hold back. Shadow self, but again, that's pointing away from her. Even though it's telling me she has some shadow self work to do, she's actually doing it, they're telling me right now, in dream state. So even though she may not want to be doing it when she's conscious and awake, she's actually doing it in dream state is what I'm getting off of that. This funky little fella right here, he's sideways. And I'm going to tell you the energy I'm getting off of that, Sara. I'm getting Ralph. I'm actually getting Ralph off of that. And it's almost like he's trying to put his claws, he's trying to attach himself to you is what I'm seeing there. Because this is freedom, and he's trying to take the freedom away, if that makes sense. So we got to watch out for Mr. Ralph here is what I'm getting from that. And again, we have joy, prosperity going on over here. This is all good read here for Sara and her business, and that's what I'm getting off of that one. So I'm going to flip up. And Jasmine, I'm so happy you survived an elevator. Those cards, what a kick. They make me laugh. Anybody else? I get everybody. Okay, Ashley, I think has left the building, or she's busy doing something, but Ash, I can always do a reading for you another time, my sweetness. So I just want to thank you guys all for coming here tonight. I think I have one more thing I have to show to you on my banners. Here it is. You've heard of werewolf? This isn't a werewolf. So you got the werewolf over here, and you have a werewolf home. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. I saw that. I thought that was cute. So I thought that was interesting. So I think you guys are amazing. Jasmine, got it on. Never comes off. In fact, the crystal in here amplifies the power of that beautiful necklace that you gave me, and it's never going to come off. So God love you guys. You have no idea. I am the most, when it comes to getting things and I don't care if you give me a rock off the street and I don't care. It's a gift, and I honor everything, and I am so blessed and so privileged to have you guys part of my life, and I love you all so much, and I thank you all for being here tonight. So next week, Akasha Records, be prepared to meditate. So that will be fun, and we're going to discuss after the meditation too to see what you guys got, if you actually saw yourself. I actually was an African American woman in a slave ship before, and I had my baby taken from me, ripped from my body and taken from me, and that's how I died. And the funny thing is I had one of my friends read me, a woman that I worked very closely with. She said the most important thing to me, and that's the one thing I live by: live in the moment. But she told me that my babies had been ripped from my body, and I said, that's so funny. I've had 4 children, and all 4 children were C-sections. So that's kind of funny that it kind of one life will tie into the next life and tie into the next life and tie into the next life. I took Sarah on a spiritual journey to discover herself, and I took her back to Victorian times. She met her children, she met her husband. In fact, when I went to pull her out of the meditation, she was crying because she didn't want to leave. So that was really crazy. So anyway, Akasha Records next week. Thank you all for being here. I love you all. And just one more thing, remember, guys, shine, shine, shine. Love you all. Next week. Bye.